morning. So today we are going to discuss about point number 4 of chapter number 3, beyond birth, resources and status. Right? If you remember, in chapter number 2 we talked about a different kind of people in ancient India, or different groups of people or different types of people according to access to the property. Right? We have kings were there, we have this forest dwellers were there, we have artisans were there, we have farmers were there, we have hunter-gatherers were there, right? Poets were there. So different peoples were there in ancient society according to the access to property. Right? Now in this chapter, right, in this topic we are going to look after the how resources determine the status of people in society. How accumulation of resources determine the status of people in the ancient society or ancient India. Right? So we are going to look after it. So within this we have 3 subtopics. So we are going to discuss one by one. The first 4.1, gender access to property. Gender, you know, right, male or female, right? So according to gender system, according to gender, how the property were divided among the gender, right, male or female. So we are going to look after this. In second 4.2, Varna and access to property. In this we are going to look after the according to Varna or caste, how the division of property were made. Right? So we are going to discuss that topic in that subtopic. Third 4.3, an alternative social scenario, sharing wealth. Right? In this a scenario and situation, right? An alternative social situation in which sharing wealth. In this we are going to discuss about in the ancient time, especially the Tamil kings, Chola, Cheras and Pandyas, right? Where the king, there are different kinds of king. They are not only eager to collect or accumulate the wealth, but at the same time they also appreciate or sharing wealth with the common people. So about that we are going to discuss in this topic. Understood? Now the first, gender access to property. Now if you remember in the ancient Indian society, right, it's a male dominant society. We call it patriarchal society, in which society, head of the family, everything is owned by the male dominant society, right? So in the Manusmriti or in the Dharma Shastra and Dharma Sutra, this Brahmanical text mentioned about if the father died, his property going to divide it among his son, right? So see, paternal property. Now, paternal here refers to descendant from the father to mother, right? Father property was divided among the son. Now son is very important at the ancient time, right? After death of father, if father died, property divided among the son, and special share for the eldest son. Right? That we know about it. If the son is going to be king or head of the family, right? Now the best sources or best evidence to prove that point the paternal society, we have this we have the story in Mahabharata, right? Dice of game. If you have watched Mahabharata, then you must be aware about that, right? The dice game, right? A story, one of the very popular episodes in Mahabharata, in which the Duryodhana invited Yudhishthira for the dice of game, right? Now in this, Duryodhana, by the ill advice of the Shakuni Mama, right, his uncle, he invited Yudhishthira to play the game of dice. So within this game, Shakuni and this Duryodhana, they together looted or deceived the Yudhishthira and loot everything he owned, right? Everything, the resources that he owned, right? So see, in this story, right, in this dice game, what happened? Here the Yudhishthira, right? And Shakuni Mama, what Shakuni Mama did? Shakuni Mama, he played instead of on behalf of Duryodhana, Shakuni Mama played the game, right? Now in this, the dice that they use, right, during the game, is owned by or is belong to Shakuni Mama. And we call these dice as a magic dice, because these dice were made up of his Shakuni Mama's, his father's bones, right? So that dice roll according to his wish. So in that dice game, what happened? First, the Yudhishthira put a strike, or he bet his horses, he lost. Then he bet elephant, he lost. Then he bet his chariot, he lost. Then he bet his kingdom, he lost. Then he bet all his brother one by one, right? First Nakul, then Shadev, then Arjun, then Bhim. And at the end, he also lost himself, right? He himself lost. Then he also bet their common wife, Draupadi. She also lost in that game. So that kind of story shows that, son is the head of the family, right? He owned everything, right? Even the Draupadi, right? She is considered like property to the time, right? So that kind of story, the dice of game, the game of dice, which this story reinforced the idea of patrimony that used to follow in ancient time. Understood? So that is all about division of property among the son. Now, apart from that, we have this, according to Manusmriti and Brahmanical texts, it mentioned that women have no any right to claim property if father died. Right? If father died, women have no any right to claim property. Right? Women have no any right to claim property. Right? Discriminations were there. Now, it does not mean that women have no any right to claim. No, women have certain right to claim the property or the gift that she received during the marriage, right? The gift that she received during the marriage is their property. See, women are allowed to keep the gift. See, here the gift was used. The word gift is used, right? Not the father's property. Received during the marriage, right? That kind of gift she received during the marriage, that kind of property belongs to her, and we call that property as Stri Dhan. Now, Stri, S-T-R-I, Stri means woman or girl, right? And Dhan means dollar, money, right? Property, wealth, right? And that is Stri Dhan is a Hindi word, right? If you convert it into or translate into English, then it is called woman's wealth, right? Wealth that owned by the woman, that is Stri Dhan. Understood? Not only that, we have a history about this, Prabhavati Gupta, queen of Vagataka, this dynasty. She owned huge amount of this land and property, right? Now, Vagataka queen, Prabhavati Gupta, you know about it, right? The daughter of Chandragupta II, the Gupta king, right? Now, the text, Dharma Shastra and Dharma Sutra says something, right? It says like that women have no any right to claim if the fathers die. Now see, here, what about the Prabhavati Gupta? She owned huge amount of wealth and property, right? Land. Then historians used to give reason for that, like in the ancient time, the queen or the woman who belongs to the high class, they have right to claim property. Right? But the general rule in the ancient India is that women have no any right to claim property. That is fixed. So because of that access to the property, the gap between the male and female in society becomes so huge and so sharpened, right? So that's why even today we also have this kind of society in which there was a social difference between male and female, right? Because male consider more important because they own property, and women consider inferior because they have no any right to claim property. Understood? So see, social difference between male and women were sharpened, less, more wide, became more gap, right? Because of access to property. So that is all about gender access to property. Now next, 4.2, we are going to study about Varna access to property. Now Varna system or caste system is same. Varna or caste is same, right? Now according to Varna, how the property was divided. Now if you remember, we have 4 caste system in ancient India, right? We have Brahman, we have Kshatriya, we have Vaishyas, then we have Shudras, right? Now, and we also know that according to Dharma Shastra and Sutras, different duty or different work or different profession were assigned for different castes. We know we have already learned about this, right? So if that kind of the social structures were followed properly, then among these 4 Varna castes, who going to be the richest? Who will be going to the richest? Of course, Brahman and Kshatriya are going to be the richest, wealthiest men need to be Brahman and Kshatriyas because they are on the top social orders at higher social hierarchy. So they own huge amount of land, huge amount of property. Not only that, the common people need to pay tax for religion tax for the Brahmins, and they need to pay different kind of a tax for the kings. Right? Kings. So that's why these 2 castes become most wealthiest men in the ancient society. It should be, right? If we work, if we look according to this, right? Then there should be. Now, but ironically, we have a history or story about a poor Brahmin in ancient India, right? See, Brahmin are the richest, right? Now we have the story about the poor Brahmin, which was mentioned in ancient India, right? So occasionally many story about poor Brahmin. If you look according to this Varna system, Brahmin should be the richest. But we have story about the poor Brahmin mentioned in Hindu text, mentioned in Buddhist text. We have a story, right? So that is, little bit, strange, right? Now, with the changes of time, right, with the increase of agriculture production, with the development of this village and the town started, movement of people started with the changes of time, right? Now what happened? When the people started mingling, culture, the assimilation started. Now what happened? People start criticizing the Varna order or Varna system, right? People start criticizing Varna or caste order. They start questioning about the Varna or Varna system, right? Now, best example is we have Lord Buddha, right? Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. He is the founder of Buddhism during the 6th century BC, right? Now, what Buddha says? Buddha says like that, Buddha mentioned like that. Yes, of course, society, there must be, they have a different in society. Everyone not going to be same, but that kind of structures is not permanent or fixed. It's going to be changed with the changes of time, right? See, the Buddha considered difference in a society. Yes, of course, there's a difference in society. Everybody not going to be the same, right? But what he said, he not regard, he not consider that kind of structure as natural or inflexible, according to this Brahmanical social structures, the Brahmanical social view. What they said, everything is fixed. Is a God creation, God made kind of things like that, So you have no any right to, change your caste. If you're born in Shatra, the Shudras, you're going to die as a Shudras. But here, Buddha says like that is not fixed. It can be changed, according to the time, right? So that is some kind of, the idea between this Brahmanical view of society and Buddhism view of society is contradict each other, right? It's totally different. Not only that, Buddhists, reject the idea of status based on birth, right? If you remember in this Purusha Sukta theory, what the Brahman used to mention, that the Purusha Sukta theory, the origin of caste system is fixed. So it also decided by birth. If you're born in any one of these castes, you are fixed. But here Buddha says that status of person is not based on the birth, right? Because your status is based on how your effort, your hard work, and your determination, your skill will determine your status. Your birth will not going to determine your status. Just like we have this recently, the winner of Indian Idol, right? The season 11 with the Sunny Hindustani. He used to be, he used to do this, shoe polish, right? And he's very poor, but because of his skill, right, his determination of singing, he became nowadays he's very rich. He became popular. He's become celebrated, right? So his status was decided by his skill, not by his birth, right? So that is some kind of logical things that Buddha has mentioned about it. So that is all about, according to Varna, access to property, right? So also here a little bit about the Buddhist notion about the societies were there. Understood? So the next we are going to discuss about 4.3, an alternative social scenario, sharing wealth in Tamilakam. Now, social scenario means situation, about it. Now, in your textbook, the topic is just like that, an alternative social scenario, sharing wealth. Now, I extra add this in Tamilakam. Why I add this extra Tamilakam? Because in history, we have found that kind of, practice what happened in ancient Tamilakam countries. Tamilakam means, we have discussed about it, right? Ancient Tamil country, which include some part of this Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, and all part of Tamil Nadu, right? So that is Tamilakam. And in this Tamilakam, we have the kings like Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas, right? So within this kingdom, the king, the king of the Chola, Chera, Pandyas, they are not only eager to collect or accumulate the wealth. At the same time, they also respect, or they also willing to share wealth with other common people. So we are going to discuss, right? See now, first basic human nature is compassion, right? Love, kind. That's why generous were respected and misers were disliked. Of course, we all agree with it, right? Now we have these sources from the ancient Tamil text, right? Ancient Tamil Sangam text. It mentioned that huge amount of this patronage made by the Chola Cheras Pandya's king, right? For the poets, for the brahmanas, for the poor people, right? They shared their wealth, right? So with that kind of evidence is mentioned in ancient Tamil Sangam text. Now see, history about the patronage. Patronage here refers to reward, gift, donation, right? Made by the many chiefs. In Tamil, in Chola Chera Pandyas, we call chief, right? The king, right? For poets and skillful people, they made donations of patronage. For the poets and skillful people, include everything, right? In ancient Tamilicum, include in Tamil Sangam text. Now, Tamil Sangam text is a text that give us a history about the ancient Tamil country, right? Chola Cheras and Pandyas. So in these texts, it mentioned about different kind of these patronages made by the different kind of kings of Chola Chera Pandyas, right? And so that is all about the patronage made by the sharing of wealth in an ancient Tamil country. Now, thing here you need to keep in your mind is in this Tamilicum country, the rulers, they are not that much only eager or eager to collect this property or accumulate the property or store the property. At the same time, they also appreciate. They also want to share their wealth with other common people. So that is all about sharing wealth in Tamilicum. Understood? So the last today that we are going to discuss about a new topic, that is topic number 5, explaining social difference, right? A social contract. Buddhist. Now see, in your textbook, the topic is explaining social difference, a social contract. And I extra add this Buddhist because in this topic, within this topic, we are going to discuss about a Buddhist understanding about the social difference. Till now, we have learned or discussed about social notion or social difference about Brahmins, right? Social difference about ancient Indian Hindu societies, right? According to Dhamma Shastra, Dhamma Sutra, Manusmriti, we have studied about social difference according to these texts, right? Now, in this, we are going to discuss about social difference, alternative understanding of social inequality according to Buddhist, right? Now, very important. First, you need to know about what is a social contract. Now, that is very important, right? What is social contract? Now, social contract means it's a kind of this. Social contract is origin of government or origin of society, of origin of kinship, the idea of kinship, the idea of society, which was discussed in social contract. If you have learned this European history, right, during the Enlightenment period, during 16th, 17th, and 18th century, these concepts became very popular, right? Different historians have mentioned, different historians have wrote different theory about social contract. We have social contract theory by this Thomas Hobbes. We have social contract theory by this John Locke. We have social contract theory by this Jean-Jacques Rousseau, right? This Enlightenment period of European, right? So all this social contract theory mention about how the society was started, how the kings and government was started. So they discuss about that in social contract, right? Now at the end, in total, social contract means origin of government or origin of kinship, origin of society. Now see, through the diagram, I will explain to you what the social contract is all about. Now see, first, social contract. Now, in social contract, people just like us, what we do, we surrender or sacrifice our own liberty or our own freedom and give power to king in the ancient time and government in today's, right? And then their work, king and government, their work is to protect the right of people. Right? If they do their work properly, what people will do, people will pay tax to the king, right? So that is all about social contract. See, now if the government or king misuse the power, right? Misuse the power, then what the people, if they misuse the power or exploit the people, then what people are going to do, they will replace or overthrow the king or government. In ancient time, if they want to overthrow the king, what they do, they used to revolt, right? Nowadays, if we want to overthrow or replace the president or prime minister of India, we have different kind of this policies to overthrow or to replace the president. We have this policy of impeachment, or to replace the prime minister, we have this policy of non-confidence motion to overthrow the government. So that is all about the social contract. Now, the total social contract means origin of society or government. Understood? Now see, right now I told you social contract means agreement between individuals. Now actually contract means agreement between two parties or two people or two nations, whatever it is, right? Agreement between individuals, right? Why they do agreement? Because result in the formation of state or society, nations, right? Now, why they form the society or state? Desire for their own production, right? To our own production, we form society, because in the society it's work according to the rules and regulations were there. Now, if you want to make a society, if you want to protect yourself, then in this process you have to surrender your personal liberty or personal freedom, right? So that is concept about the social contract. That is all about the social contract. Now, according to Buddhists, right, Buddhists have a different understanding of social inequality, right? Alternative understanding. Now, Buddhists developed alternative and different understanding of social inequality. Now, we have discussed about this Brahmanical way of understanding the society before, right? During the Purusha Sukta theories and different kind of society that prevailed in ancient India. Now, here we are going to discuss about what are the alternative understanding of society, social inequality according to Buddhist. Now, see, that kind of story of social understanding was mentioned in Buddhist text known as Sutta Pitaka. Now, Sutta Pitaka is a Buddhist text. If you remember, in Buddhism we have this different kind of text. Most popular three texts were there. Now, Pitaka actually means baskets, right? Where the three baskets. Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. On the total we call it three Pitaka, three basket. Three basket contain different kind of ideologies, different kind of teachings of Buddhas, right? First we have Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka mentioned about the different kind of discourse, right? Teachings of Buddha, right? And then we have Vinaya Pitaka. Vinaya Pitaka contain about the different kinds of rules and regulations need to follow by Buddhist monks and nuns. Then we have Abhidhamma Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka mentioned about different kind of doctrines, different kind of philosophy, different kind of psychology, understanding of discussion made or taught by the Buddhists. So these are the three different texts of Buddhism, right? Now, in the Sutta Pitaka, there was one story which mentioned about the social contract according to Buddhists. In this story, Buddhists mention like that, Buddha himself mentions like that. Originally the people were very happy. They were very peaceful in ancient time. Right? They're very happy. They will enjoy whatever they want. If they want to eat the apple, they can get it from the tree. They have no any concept of private property. Everybody's peaceful, enjoy their own life. But with the changes of time, people became more greedy. Right? The social condition became deteriorate. Right? So now that's why what happened. The concept of I, concept of you, concept of there started. Right? Through that way, concept of private property started. So because of that, dispute happened between the people. Right? So to stop that kind of dispute, to settle this dispute, what people do, people will appoint some influential person, some powerful person to look after them and decide to settle the dispute, right? So that kind of people they appoint are called Maha Samanta, right? The great elect. They appoint people. We at that time we never call that person as a king. Just his work is to settle the dispute. Need to punish the culprit and reward the real person, whoever it is, right? So if he work according to the people wish, what people are going to do, they're going to provide their share, like rice, jewelries, animal products for them. So later on, with the changes of time, these concepts become a little bit more sophisticated, I would call. And then the process, the ideology, the idea of kinship tax were gradually started, right? through that way. That is the Buddhist notion about the social contract. Now see, now the things here we need to know about is, if it shows that, institution of kingship means king, right? Kingship based on the people's choice. Yes, of course, people have elected, right? Different kind of people, right? So therefore, if the kingship is, institution of kingship is based on people's choice, then of course people have right to, change this government or change king or queen, whatever it is, right? That is people right. See, if human create the system, right, of kingship and everything, then of course they could also change in the future, yes or no? But if you look in this Brahmanical idea, what they said, everything is created by the God, right? The Purusha Sukta theory, caste system was created by the God, and your status is decided by your birth. So that's why people have no option left, right? Whatever there is, it's fixed. If you are born in a Shudras, you die as a Shudras, right? If you're born in this Kshatriya, you're going to be king. Your birth decided your status or your future. Now Buddhists said, no, it's not like that. It can be changed. Now see, by looking at this, totally, the social difference, the ideology, the notion of social contract between this Brahman and this Buddhist totally contradict, different, right? Understood? So that is all about the social understanding, social inequality, understand by the notion of the concept that Buddha understand about this kind of new concept of social inequality, that is, society is not fixed. It can be changed according to time or people, skill or people wish. Understood? So that is all about explaining social difference, social contract. Understood? So that is all about today's, and the next video we are going to learn in the next topic that we are going to learn in the next video. Thank you.